What's going on, everyone? Lalit here. Today we got what's in my wallet for December 2020. Super excited to be sharing what's in my wallet this month, and moreover, it's going to be a little different this month actually. I'll be traveling towards the end of this month, so how we're going to do it is we'll go over the normal what's in my wallet for this month, and towards the end I'll segue into what choices I'm going to be choosing to be traveling internationally and the thought process behind them. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about stocks, credit, and personal finance in general, but with that, we'll get straight into it. Super quick, feel free to check out the timestamps below to navigate accordingly. First in my wallet is the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Primarily use it for dining out, and given how the credit is in terms of the temporary availability to be using it on gas as well as grocery, and I'm referring to the credit that comes with the annual fee, which is a $300 travel credit, I'll be using this for grocery spend as well as gas spend as well as dining, which is very normal. But once that $300 credit runs out, I'll be following on to the other cards in my wallet. I have my annual fee coming up for my Chase Sapphire Reserve, so made a video about retention calls and the results, as well as an overview of the Chase Sapphire Reserve, so feel free to check it out. Second on the list, you got the Amex Gold Card. You get 4x on dining as well as groceries, and I use it in tandem when I'm dining out with the CSR because the Chase Sapphire Reserve gets you ultimate reward points, while the Amex Gold gets you membership reward points, and both those points I use for travel by transferring the same points to other airlines to use accordingly. So I use both of them to get that diversity of points so I have more options per se, net at the end of the day. Moving on and talking about gas. Last month we had the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, but this month we're actually going to be having the Marriott Premier Plus Business Card. And it doesn't need to be a business card, but the reason for this is actually because of a promotion that Marriott has for their credit card holders, and it's basically 10x points on restaurant spend as well as gas spend. The 10x points is great, but what I use my Marriott card for restaurant purchases versus 4x MR points, it just depends on the actual points and redemption values. And for me, I don't value Marriott points that highly, but at the same time for gas, getting 10x versus 2 times ultimate reward points, which would have been the Chase Inc. Cash Card, basically I value that, but there's a couple more reasons. The first reason is just me topping up some of my Marriott balance so I'll have enough points for a future redemption. And second, basically, there's an opportunity for Marriott points to be transferred to American Airlines, which we'll talk about later in the video. But overall, Marriott points, I can transfer them to American Airlines, and without actual American Airline cards from Citibank or, for example, Barclays Bank, then it's a little harder, and naturally without flying with American, it's going to be harder to accumulate these points. So overall for me, I use Marriott points not just to redeem for hotel spend, but actually as a way to transfer to American Airlines, and this way get certain types of flights or redemptions depending on where I'm trying to go and what makes the most amount of sense. Moving on to the cards with more rotational category spend, you have the Chase Freedom series, and the reason I call it that is because I have 2 Chase Freedoms as well as a Chase Freedom original version in my wallet. And this quarter's categories are Walmart as well as PayPal, and with the holidays literally around the corner, basically it's in my wallet. I may not use up all the $1,500 per card, aka maxing out up to $4,500 at 5% return on spend, but at the same time it's in my wallet. There's some good Chase offers as well, so there's that. The last 2 credit cards for this month in my wallet are going to be for miscellaneous spend, you got the American Express Blue Business Plus card, and for Costco expenditure, you got the Costco Business Credit Card. And I'll keep these details really high level, but basically with the American Express Blue Business Plus card, you got 2 times membership reward points. And with Costco spend, I talk about it in November 2020's video, so I'll leave it out of this one for the sake of succinctness. Those were all the credit cards in my wallet for December 2020, and there's a debit card that's consistently in my wallet, and it is the Charles Schwab debit card. And that actually segues into the cards I would have for my wallet in terms of traveling internationally. Regarding international travel and what cards I'm choosing, it all comes down, for me personally, 2 main criteria. It's going to be no foreign transaction fees as well as acceptability. Regarding foreign transaction fees, there's a lot of cards in today's market with no annual fee that offer no foreign transaction fees. And at the same time, regarding acceptability, American Express was the big issue where it wasn't accepted abroad very easily compared to its counterparts like Visa or Mastercard. And that story is definitely changing day by day, where American Express is more widely accepted worldwide. The reason why this matters to me is because you can be the richest person in the world, but if your currency or your money isn't able to be accepted by another party, aka if I have X amount of credit line, but I can't swipe because their machines don't take it or they just don't want to accept it for whatever reason, then basically I'm a sitting duck. So with that, at minimum, and there could be more cards, not maybe in my wallet, but more backup cards, which also have no foreign transaction fees. But the primary kind of rotation per se of what's going to be in my wallet for international travel is going to be a couple cards we mentioned. For example, the CSR, which is Visa, and you have American Express, which is American Express. And this is for the American Express Gold Card specifically. Further, I like to keep Mastercard as well, so then you would have Visa, Amex, and Mastercard in terms of the actual credit card payment processors. And so for that, the following two cards are both Mastercard. You have the American Airlines Red Aviator card issued by Barclays Bank, as well as the IHG Premier Plus credit card issued by Chase Bank. The American Airlines Red Aviator card gets you 2 times American Airline miles on all American Airlines spend, but that's not the focus of why it's in my wallet, mainly because it's a MasterCard, but also, for me, I feel that it's quite hard to accumulate American Airline miles if you're not traveling with them or spending heavily on their credit cards. So this is one more way that I accumulate American Airline miles. Regarding the IHG Premier card, it's similar to the American Airlines card. It's not about the spending categories, but rather the fact that it's a MasterCard. And it's a good card. It has an annual fee of $89. I was not grandfathered in from the $49 rate a couple of years back, but more than that, it gives you that free anniversary night, which is pretty much offsets that $89 annual fee and actually has more value than not depending on your redemption. That's basically the real logic, but what's actually going to happen is probably I'll have exactly what we talked about and probably a couple more cards that have no foreign transaction fees, that may be certain airline-specific cards which could help me just in case, and certain hotel cards as well, because we talked about the Marriott card, we talked about the IHG, and I do have the Hilton credit card as well by Amex, and on the airline side, a couple more airline cards as well. We usually end with a beatbox outro, so thank you so much for coming to the end. Like, share, subscribe, you know how it is, but with that, we'll see you soon enough.